Hundreds of China's top officials are converging on Beijing for a 3-day meeting that could set the course for the country's economy in the years to come. The Third Plenum sees the Central Committee, the Chinese Communist Party's highest institution, announce major economic and development policy. For China, that could mean a much-needed jumpstart to an economy showing increasing signs of strain and slowdown. That has a lot to do with the country's spiraling debt.
China has grown out of debt, extreme leverage, very large leverage, which has created a very low return on assets because there's too much investment. So now China would need to reduce the share of investment because it's the highest in the world.
The committee will also need to address a real estate crisis and pass some sort of fiscal reform so that local governments can hold on to more of their tax revenue. And those are just the domestic issues. China also faces growing backlash against what other countries are calling unfair trade practices, with both the US and EU slapping tariffs on Chinese exports in recent months. But trade challenges are unlikely to be resolved at the meeting.
I think that the only way that they'll address it at the plenum is rhetorically by claiming that there is no overcapacity, there are no subsidies, and that exports are perfectly natural, and that the U.S. should get rid of its tariffs. So that's really not going to make a difference.
A course correction wouldn't be unprecedented from the Chinese leadership. Past Third Plenums have proved pivotal to China's economy. In 1978, then-leader Deng Xiaoping used the event to announce the reform and opening policy that would set China on the path to becoming the world's second-largest economy. But the country's policy-making system is extremely opaque. The plenum is often seen as a platform for rubber-stamping plans that are already set in stone. And those plans are increasingly guided by one man, Chinese President Xi Jinping. Because of that, there's little confidence among economists and investors that one meeting can fix China's many ills.
But it's really not going to change anything. And I think that's because their hands are tied. I just don't see a way out of this without structurally reforming the system. I just think that China is going into deep recession, and there's nothing to do about that.
Most observers expect the plenum to focus on moving the economy from low-level manufacturing to advanced industry. It's also likely there will be nothing concrete on the economy until the party lays out its next 5-year plan in 2025.
The next period, the next term for the 5 years of programming on the national economics and the social development will start from 2026 until 2030. So at this time, it's still too early about that.
Beyond the economy, personnel changes are also expected at the meeting. That would include an official announcement of the ouster of several high-level officials from the Central Committee. Among them are Qin Gang, the deposed former Foreign Affairs Minister, and ex-Defense Minister Li Shangfu. Both were fired from their jobs last year over alleged misconduct and corruption. With this year's Third Plenum now underway, China's partners and rivals will be watching to see how it chooses to handle a growing number of hurdles that could hurt its aims of becoming the dominant regional power. Joseph Wu and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.